Have you ever wondered why life sometimes feels so heavy, even when you're trying to do everything right? Why certain doors stay closed, people drift away, and tests seem to follow one after another? These moments often leave us questioning ourselves, but in reality, they might be signs that Allah is working on something far greater for you. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 hidden struggles that many believers face, struggles that don't mean you're forgotten, but that Allah is actually elevating your rank and preparing you for a breakthrough. These are signs of love, mercy, and growth that often come disguised as hardship. Once you recognize them, your perspective on trials will completely change. Stay with me until the end to understand how your current struggle might just be the beginning of something extraordinary written for you by Allah Himself. 1. Loneliness and isolation, a sign Allah is drawing you closer. There are times in life when you suddenly feel cut off from people. Friends become distant, gatherings no longer bring you peace, and even those who were once close seem far away. This stage of loneliness is not always a punishment. For many believers, it is Allah's way of inviting the heart to turn back to Him without distraction. When a person is surrounded by constant company, the noise of the world can drown out the whispers of the soul. Isolation clears that noise. It forces you to pause, to reflect on your own state, and to discover a deeper connection with Allah that often gets lost in busy social lives. Many scholars say that when Allah loves someone, He makes them taste the sweetness of being alone with Him so that their dependence on creation fades. During these times, your heart becomes trained to seek comfort in prayer, Qur'an, and dhikr rather than in people's validation. Solitude becomes a space of healing, where patience and faith are strengthened quietly. This unseen training builds spiritual resilience that will prepare you for future blessings. If you are experiencing this phase, don't see it as abandonment. It may be Allah's way of saying, "Come closer to me, I am enough for you." 2. Delayed blessings, building patience and reliance on Allah. There are moments in life when you make sincere dua, put in effort, and wait for something to happen, yet it feels as though nothing is moving. These delays are not without wisdom. When Allah withholds a blessing, it is often because He wants to shape your character and prepare your heart for what is coming. The waiting period softens arrogance and replaces it with humility. When a believer realizes that effort alone cannot bring results, their heart turns to complete dependence on Allah. This state of tawakkul, trust, is one of the most honored qualities in the sight of Allah. Through this process, your patience deepens, and your reliance becomes stronger than before. Sometimes, the blessing itself is not the only gift. The growth you experience while waiting becomes a treasure of its own. You learn to slow down, appreciate smaller mercies, and remain hopeful even in uncertainty. Delay also protects you. Many times, we desire something before the right time. Allah, out of His knowledge, keeps it away until it can arrive as a source of goodness instead of harm. What feels like a pause is actually perfect timing being written for you. If your duas seem unanswered, know that every delay carries purpose. Perhaps what is coming is far greater than what you imagined, and when it finally arrives, you will see why the wait was necessary. 3. Inner emotional and mental battles, a path to spiritual growth. There are seasons in life when the real struggle is invisible. On the outside everything may appear fine, but within you there is a storm, confusion, fear, anxiety, doubts, or a heaviness you can't explain. These battles are some of the hardest to endure because no one else can see them, yet they consume so much of your strength. In these hidden struggles, Allah is training the heart in silence. When the world cannot offer comfort, the believer is pushed to search inward and upward. Through these experiences, you begin to understand yourself at a deeper level and realize that no one can truly heal your heart except Allah. This personal discovery brings a closeness to Him that often cannot be achieved in times of ease. The pain of these unseen struggles softens a person. It teaches empathy for others who carry silent burdens. It also shapes resilience, because every time you rise after an unseen fall, your soul becomes stronger. Over time, you notice that the things which once broke you no longer hold the same power. These internal tests are not signs of weakness, they are signs that Allah is cleansing and elevating you in private. The heart that emerges from such trials is one that is more sincere, humble, and ready for guidance. So if you are fighting a battle no one else knows about, understand that you are not abandoned. Often, these are the very moments that prepare you for a breakthrough you cannot yet see. 4. Experiencing loss, clearing space for greater gifts. There are times when life takes away something precious, a relationship, an opportunity, a position, or a dream you deeply cherished. Such losses can leave an ache that feels impossible to heal. Yet, in the wisdom of Allah, loss is never without purpose. Often, it becomes the clearing of space in your life for something far better, even if it cannot be seen in that moment. When a believer experiences loss, their attachment to what was taken is replaced by an attachment to the one who gave it in the first place. This redirection shifts the heart from depending on temporary gifts to depending on the giver. Over time, this strengthens sincerity and devotion, as a person learns to hold everything in this world with an open hand. Loss also brings a new perspective. What once seemed essential may no longer hold the same weight. It awakens gratitude for blessings that remain and opens your eyes to paths you would have never considered without that shake. Through these difficult experiences, Allah may be protecting you from something that would have harmed you, or preparing a better door to open when the time is right. Many of the most beautiful chapters of life begin right after a chapter of pain has closed. If you are going through loss, remember that it is not the end of your story. It may be the beginning of a greater plan unfolding, one that only Allah, in His perfect knowledge, knows is best for you. 5. Repeated tests and hardships, refining and elevating the believer. When trials come one after another with little pause in between, it can feel overwhelming and unfair. However, in the sight of Allah, these repeated hardships are often a sign that He is refining you and preparing you for a higher spiritual rank. Just as raw gold must endure intense heat before it becomes pure and valuable, a believer goes through waves of difficulties so that weaknesses are removed and strength is revealed. Each test polishes the heart a little more, helping it to detach from illusions and turn fully toward Allah with sincerity. Facing one challenge after another also builds endurance. It teaches a believer how to navigate life with saber, patience, and hope, even when nothing makes sense. These qualities are not learned in moments of ease, they are forged only through real experience. At times, repeated trials are also a shield. They protect you from becoming complacent, arrogant, or overly attached to the world. Through this, Allah ensures that your heart remains soft and aware of Him. Most importantly, every test passed with patience raises your rank. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taught that no difficulty afflicts a believer except that it erases sins and brings them closer to Allah. By the time relief comes, you are not only free from the weight of the trials but also spiritually elevated. So, if hardships seem endless, know that they carry meaning. Every difficulty is shaping you into someone stronger, purer, and more prepared for the blessings that await. Every struggle you face has a purpose. Loneliness, delays, inner battles, loss, and repeated tests are not signs of failure. They are signs that Allah is purifying your heart, raising your rank, and preparing you for something far better than you imagined. Trust His timing, because He never tests without wisdom and never delays without reason. If this video from Ascend Deen inspired you or gave you hope, please like it, share it with someone who might need these reminders, and subscribe to the channel. Let's grow together on this journey of faith and patience.